everyone, and welcome to the 2021 AIA Detroit Celebration of Architecture. We're here live in the GAR building in downtown Detroit, which is for sale. While the turrets and battlements make the Grand Army of the Republic building look like some sort of ancient fort built to defend the city from invaders, it opened in 1900 as a hangout for the city's Civil War veterans, and again is for sale. And if that isn't cool enough, we are right across the street from Beacon Park, our main featured watch party, which is sponsored by DTE, Beacon Park, and the Downtown Detroit Partnership. So if you're at Beacon Park or one of our other watch parties or viewing from home, AIA Detroit is so excited to be sharing this broadcast with you. With new award winners and a giveaway that you can win, this year's broadcast is one that you will remember. Am I right, Tracy?
Girl, you're always right. Hey everyone, this is Tracy Sweeney, AIA Detroit Director and Chair of the Pachacha Detroit Committee, coming to you live from the GAR as well. This year's broadcast allowed us to build on the success of last year's virtual event, as well as plan for some in-person partying, because we missed seeing your faces. Hopefully next year will bring us the opportunity to gather for the big party again. Of course, we wouldn't be able to do this without our sponsors and their support, so you'll see our supporting companies incorporated into the virtual format.
This segment is brought to you by AUC, which has brought award-winning planning, pre-construction, and construction services to southeastern Michigan for over a century. They are team players who concentrate on continuous improvement, embrace innovation, and focus on client satisfaction.
Good evening, everyone. This is Katie Rupp, the AIA Detroit Associate Director. As both Lauren and Tracy have already mentioned, this year's broadcast incorporates in-person sponsored watch parties that we are so excited to share with you today. The first watch party we're going to tune into is over at Lawrence Tech College of Architecture Design, sponsored by Mohawk. Carolyn and Andrea, how is the evening going at LTU? I think they're gathering the troops over there at LTU.
Can you hear us?
Yeah.
Can you hear us? Can you hear us?
Yes, we can hear you.
Oh, okay. There's a delay, so they can hear us. So we're joining from LTU. We're here celebrating both our alumni and the overall design community. We've got a group of students and faculty and alumni and industry professionals here celebrating. Congratulations to everyone.
Awesome to hear. So good to see everyone there having a great time. Now over to you, Roland.
Thanks, Katie. Good evening, everyone. As a new AIA Detroit board member, this year seems to have already flown by. I can't believe we're already in September. Once again, we promised anyone who RSVP'd through Eventbrite, they would be automatically included in our work from home giveaway. So let's kick that off. First up, a $250 gift certificate for Virginia Tile. Now, while you might not be able to complete an entire kitchen with that money, it's still a great way to kick off that project you've been thinking about. Thank you, Virginia Tile, for supporting our giveaway. Now, before I announce the first giveaway winner, please notice the number on the screen. If your name is called, you must text that number before the end of the broadcast to let us know you're watching. And the winner of the Virginia Tile certificate is Christopher Wright. Congratulations, Christopher. Be sure to text the number on the screen before the broadcast is over.
Thanks, Roland. I'm looking forward to seeing who our future winners are throughout this broadcast. Every year, our Architectural Honor Awards jury is assembled by an AIA chapter from another state in order to provide the most objective perspective when judging the submissions. This year's jury came from AIA San Diego in California. I would like to personally thank Kevin, David, Chicago, and Bryn, who I know are watching this broadcast, for taking the time to examine all of our submissions this year and provide the jury feedback that we will use to highlight all the reasons these projects were selected.
My name is Kevin DeFreitas. I was the jury chair on behalf of AIA San Diego for this year's Design Awards for the Detroit chapter. We really enjoyed looking at the projects, fantastic work. It's neat to see work that's done in another part of the country. There's some beautiful, beautiful old buildings, and adaptive reuse was definitely part of several of the submissions, and including the final selections. The framework of design, I think, was really important. That's part of the AIA's push. And so projects that included those points and referenced it in their narrative certainly made it easier to evaluate. Sustainability is huge, and that's really just a given. And then I think we were looking for all the things that makes architecture wonderful, delightful, makes you feel something, light, air, all those eternal qualities. And it was fun to look at the different scale of projects as well. So much of Detroit's future is maybe connected to its past, and preserving it and figuring out how to reuse it. and looking forward. It's a resilient city. It's not going away. Its future is bright. And I think that the designers that submitted work are evidence of that.
This year, AIA Detroit received 60 projects from 27 firms, 5 of which had never participated in the AIA Detroit Honor Awards before. Thank you to every firm who worked hard to put together a submission. We know how challenging that process can be, and your architectural work is always worth admiring. So without further ado, Tracy?
Thanks, Lauren. Staying here in Detroit, our first project focused on the joy of working in a unique interior space. With its light, airy spaces and a straightforward, minimalist design approach, the building does a lot with a little and reflects the company's ethos. Congratulations, Bloomscape HQ, designed by M1 DTW.
We wanted to kind of to set like a level of compartmentalization that maintained that openness, that airiness, the way the light comes through the building, while also kind of providing spaces for employees to work. So everything from larger work zones, kind of neighborhoods, to small private spaces that people can kind of get away, focus, write an email. There was a lot of effort in kind of creating, like wanting to create a unique space that didn't feel like it was pulled from a catalog. It was this, wanted it to feel like this was Bloomscapes and Bloomscapes only. To kind of meld all these Bloomscape worlds, from the greenhouse, the kind of industrial scale of the greenhouse, the workplace, the kind of, the kind of cultural center of Bloomscape, and then also the home. I think bringing that domestic scale in was important because that's one of the primary spaces that these plants and their product ends up is in people's homes.
Congratulations, M1 DTW. Our next project is conceptual, sustainable building is what you do if you must build. However, true sustainable planning includes extending the life of buildings we already have. This cohesive adaptive reuse of several different properties will revitalize the energy of the boulevard, drawing city dwellers into and around public thoroughfares, providing public amenities and gathering space for all. Presenting The Junction by Umbro Architects.
The inherent beauty and just the history that comes with existing buildings. It's just like it cannot be matched in new construction. And we enjoy that dialogue between old and new and kind of creating those interesting spaces in between.
So I think that provides for a huge opportunity for Detroit to fill in these buildings in a very sustainable way, where we're not pouring new foundations, we're not building new structures, but we're maintaining the integrity of these buildings. And there's just an inherent beauty and character of these historic buildings that make for great residential and office spaces. They're high ceilings, large windows, lots of natural light. And so we really enjoy working on projects of this nature.
It was definitely a challenge, but it was more of kind of part of our mindset of how do you use existing buildings to their full capacity to give them new life.
Great job, Umbra, and congratulations. On this next project, the jury stated, like the careful restoration of a treasured family quilt, stitch by stitch, this development plan thoughtfully weaves density into the urban fabric and is successful as an impetus for the economic revitalization of the area. This is the first of several more proposed interventions designed to activate the neighborhood. Congratulations, John R. 2660 by Lorcan O'Herlihy Architects.
When you design in cities, you have to design recognizing adjacencies and recognize the culture of where it is. This building is a mixed-use project. It has retail on the bottom level, and of course, housing above. And I'm excited to say that it is 70 to 80% already occupied, which is great. When you provide more housing, there's opportunities for the rents to be somewhat lower. If there's more availability, the numbers come down. And that's extremely important for people to be able to afford units. You have to design for the future. And certainly Brush Park is that in a sense, because you're looking at sites where perhaps there are fields that are surrounding it, but you have to envision how they may be developed in the future. We tackle every project to provide housing, provide density, and that's essential. We feel that cities could be certainly vibrant with that in mind.
That's awesome to see, Tracy. I'm sure we'll likely see more work come out of City Modern development in upcoming years, which is very exciting. Next up, the jury found that the architect's extensive involvement in every detail of this down-to-the-bones renovation results in an inviting restaurant and lounge space that successfully connects the lush interior to Capitol Park. Ornamental patterns and textures evoke the warm and savory flavors of Lebanese cuisine. Presenting Layla by Sidewalk Architecture.
The building is the Farwell building, and it's a historic building that actually sat vacant for over 30 years. So it really was in disrepair when we came in. And with the main floor, our approach was, to use some of these luxurious materials, but also embrace the historic architecture of the building. And so by using brick, stone, glass, and steel, and then combining that with our color palette and having fun with some of the materials and color selections and furniture to kind of warm up the space. And in the basement, we were able to leave things exposed, and so we wanted to embrace the rawness of it. We created this dramatic full-height steel and glass wine cellar that maintained the views into the lobby. You get a glimpse of the historic features of the building while still being in this restaurant, which has a completely different feel.
Congratulations, Sidewalk Architecture. I'm looking forward to eating at Layla's in the future. All right, ladies and gentlemen, back to the work from home giveaway. Are you looking for an exceptional listening experience that's tailored just for you? Thanks to PatCraft, we have these gorgeous Sony wireless headphones to give away. Remember, if your name is called, you must text the number on the screen before the end of the broadcast to let us know that you are watching. Thank you. And the winner of the Sony headphones is Jessie Dorsey from Mansa. Congratulations, Jessie. Now be sure to text the number on the screen before this broadcast is over. And thank you once again, PatCraft, for that awesome donation. Now, a message from one of our sponsors.
ETS Engineering Incorporated is a local Detroit area electrical engineering firm that has been providing engineering services for over 25 years. Our team of experts at ETS Engineering have worked on a wide variety of commercial and industrial projects, including hospitality, retail, healthcare, mixed-use developments, educational facilities, municipalities, and more. Let ETS Engineering be your next building systems engineering partner.
Don't worry, everyone. We still have 3 more giveaway experiences to go in this broadcast. In the meantime, however, let's check back in with one of our featured watch parties. You will likely recognize the Zoe's creative team, as they were the 2020 broadcast's presenting sponsor last year. Coming from not too far away in downtown Detroit, hello, Amy.
Hey guys, we're excited to be here tonight. It's fun to be a part of this event as always, and we're always grateful to work with so many talented architects in the city. So thank you for all your business. Thank you for including us, Lauren and team. We're excited to be here. Cheers. Cheers.
Cheers. Cheers. So good to see everyone there, Amy. BT Dubs, the new office is looking very good. Thank you once again for joining us this year for the celebration. This segment is brought to you by MA Engineering, which has provided quality, comprehensive mechanical and electrical engineering services for a diversity of clients and projects for 30 years.
Getting back to our Architectural Honor Awards, our next project is student housing bound by tight constraints of budget, high density, and context. The jury appreciated that great care was given to the connection and integration. Linkages between residence halls, the campus, and surroundings will serve students well as a catalyst for pedestrian activity, spontaneous interactions, and a sense of community. Congratulations, Inform Studio, for the Lawrence Technological University East Residence Hall.
We want the sciences people to intermingle with the arts people, to intermingle with the architecture and design people, and find all these chance opportunities for more complex relationships to occur. And so we were very cognizant of that when we were thinking through how we start to establish these opportunities for community. One of my favorite moments of the entire association with the project was being on campus, taking some pictures after the building was built, and a young woman who was checking in to her housing with her grandparents was explaining all the cool spaces that were available in the building and all the cool things that she could look forward to doing in those spaces. From my perspective, that's just incredibly rewarding, being able to understand how the users of the space are really engaging in it and gaining things from it and lessons to learn for future multifamily student housing type spaces. Like, this is really impactful to the people ultimately that are going to be engaging in the space.
It's always inspiring to see how much college on-campus living has changed. So congratulations, Inform. Next up, this massive renovation is truly ambitious and inspired, resulting in bright and refreshing interiors that celebrate classic architecture while ushering in a breath of freshly modern aestheticism. It perfectly exemplifies the dynamic future of Detroit while simultaneously acknowledging and preserving this piece of its glorious past. It is my pleasure to congratulate Hamilton Anderson Associates on the Hamilton Midtown Detroit.
The Hamilton was built as a residential hotel back in 1913 when the auto industry was booming and they were getting workers to come to the city of Detroit. When we went in there, we peeked up through the ceiling and saw this wonderful plaster work. You know, we knew we had to pretty much gut the addition that was in there and restore that plaster and restore the spaciousness of that space. That happened to have been the dining room. When some of the former tenants came in to look at it, they didn't even know that existed. Prior to us doing that, the only meeting space in the building was as somebody was passing through the lobby, but now there's several spaces in that building that can be community-oriented. People can create a whole community.
Up next, this aspirational project serves as an exciting mixed-use prototype for the future of Brush Park at a moment when the local community and the city as a whole seeks to reposition, redefine, and reimagine itself as equitable, thriving, and bustling with vitality. Our hats off once again to Umbra for the 112 Edmund Placemaker.
You know, the idea was always to have this kind of mixed use 24/7 building with kind of maximum amenities, kind of live workspace, and some retail space.
What we try to do with this project and all our projects is to kind of design within the confines of economy, of function, but also kind of bouncing, of course, back and forth between those ideas and an idea of beauty and proportion and all those things as well. So there's a lot to balance, but we love that kind of challenge, and we hope that that's what the Placemaker tries to do here.
This project in particular sort of embodies the design objectives of our firm to make places that are accessible for all, provide opportunity for all, and are shaped and cared for by their neighbors. And I think that was important in the design of this project.
As Tracy mentioned earlier this evening, this broadcast would not be possible without the financial support from our sponsors. We might look like a small team on camera, but between us hosts, the watch party liaisons, and the production crew, we number over 20 people just this evening. Because of that, our Program Plus and program sponsors are worth showcasing. Thank you everyone for your financial support. This segment is brought to you by All Steel, which designs furnishings and architectural products that create connection, learning, shaping, and experience, and enabling companies and employees to become the best versions of themselves.
For our next winning project, the design is pitch perfect, thoroughly infusing the brand's values of precision, only the essential, and clarity to make the bigger picture, the site-wide incorporation of sustainable interventions and the intersection of building masses look as flawless and effortless as one would expect from a Zeiss product. Congratulations to the Zeiss Michigan Quality Excellence Center by Smith Group.
We knew from the beginning that this building was going to be very complex, and we didn't want to overcomplicate it with the aesthetic. So really that was kind of the driver, was to use very kind of more noble materials like metal, glass, concrete, and wood. The focus of this facility is metrology, which is the science of measurement. And we had to make sure that the labs did not change temperature more than 1 degree over the course of 1 hour. Because if you think about trying to measure something at a microscopic scale, especially metal, which expands and contracts, it's constantly moving with the temperature. So the primary function of the research labs and the showroom was really to create the most stable environment possible while providing views to the exterior and connections back to the office space.
Congratulations, Smith Group. Next, the design team clearly considered each distinct detail, intervening with custom refinements with a subtle and deft hand. The sum of these parts is a cohesive, historically authentic, yet modern experience that we should all look forward to visiting. Introducing the Gallery, the Fresco by McIntosh Porras Associates.
We had specific goals and objectives set out in the beginning of the project to maintain as much of the rich history and work that had already been put into those two spaces, the gallery and the fresco. Our challenge was really working within those spaces, and if the art was a fixed piece that was not going to change, our design challenge was to light it correctly and make it an emphasis and make it a signature piece rather than just kind of fall into the background. Design excellence in the context of this project, because it's an interiors project, was more meaningful when we were talking about it in the context of rehabilitation of a historic room and how we could bring modern seating and finishes into that room without creating a big disturbance. Everybody was trying to keep the feeling and the nostalgia of the room intact, yet layering on more modern elements.
Congratulations, McIntosh Porras. Next up, the attention to detail is big on this small project. The clever use of varying brickwork, compelling textures, and curvature heightens the drive-through experience, elevating an otherwise mundane pit stop to an enjoyable and engaging customer experience. Just upon looking at this project, it's most definitely a place I would want to grab some coffee. Congratulations, Water Street Coffee by M1 DTW.
For this project, we were super excited about it because it's such a small project. It really allowed us to invest in nicer materials and the kind of level of detail, and each and every corner is a little bit different. Despite it just being a piece of roadside architecture and something that you never go in, you simply drive around, we wanted that to sort of be an experience that was as nice as the in-cafe experience that their customers have. The other thing that's really important is that for the people that work there, that they have a really nice place to work. They're not just confined within a so-called drive-through, but they have a nice view and they sort of can interact with customers and they can see the sun rising and setting and all those great things. One of the things I really love about this project is the way in which the Masons took ownership of it. Good architecture doesn't just happen. It relies on many voices and many hands, and certainly the hands of the craftspeople that help put it together.
Completed by a Detroit firm, yet speaking Texas sensibility, this regionally responsive design project boasts a thoughtful partie, meaningful indoor-outdoor connections, and the incorporation of natural patterns and earthen elements, exemplifying design for wellness, part of AIA National's framework for excellence. We are honored to recognize Texas Health Fresco by HKS Architects.
In healthcare facilities, we're not just designing for the patient experience, but we're also very mindful, and maybe primarily mindful, of staff experience. Because even though a patient might be coming in for a shorter period, 3 to 4 days at the most, for either a surgery or a treatment, whatever might be happening, the staff has to work there every day, 365 days a year. What we'd like to define with examples, projects like Texas Health Frisco, is to say that the design of the place and of the buildings, in addition to the model of care, all work together as part of what we call the continuum of care. So that's everything from your drive-up arrival experience to how the way that the buildings and the forms can create clear wayfinding. Everything that we've done on this project, including the materials, which are based on nature and work with biophilic principles to help calm people and to help them navigate the time that they're within the facility.
And now a message from one of our sponsors.
My name is Bill Ash. I'm an architect and design principal with the Smith Group Detroit higher education practice. We specified 80 system sliding doors on the University of Michigan School of Dentistry project to maximize efficiency, to help us with space utilization. There were a number of finish options and integrated hardware choices that really helped the design process move along.
AD Systems is a complete sliding door assembly. Visit specadsystems.com to try the product builder, download Revit families, and CSI 3-part specifications.
Before we check in at our main featured watch party, we're going to transition briefly over to AIA Fellowship and recognize the individuals who were awarded that honor this year. So what is AIA Fellowship? AIA Fellows are recognized with the AIA's highest membership honor for their exceptional work and contributions to architecture and society. This is an AIA national distinction, and only 3% of the AIA members have this distinction. This year, only 2 AIA members in Michigan were given such an honor, and they're both from the Detroit chapter. Introducing Brian Hertian, principal at Christian Hertian Architects.
My name is Brian Hertian, and I'm an architect and developer. What the fellow status has actually made me do is look back on all of the things that I did accomplish. It's quite a nice, reminder of where I've been. Being involved in historic preservation, many firms, including my own firm, being an executive director, getting retail established in a Detroit neighborhood, community engagement, doing new houses, and trying to change policy with the land bank, and now becoming a developer. The variedness of my career, even though it wasn't always fun and et cetera, didn't really make me feel stymied. And, I went after what I wanted to do. And that is kind of a message I would love to get out to the younger generation, that there are multiple ways of becoming a fellow. And, to follow your own passions and invest in your passions are something that I would strongly recommend. Go there. That's the whole point. And that's what I think the fellow elevation is really saying to the rest of the profession is, bring things together, then expand the horizon.
Get out there and go do something you never thought you would be doing. I love that. I would not be here at AIA Detroit if I had not made a similar decision myself nearly 9 years ago. Right, Tracy?
One thing I know for sure is that AIA Detroit would not be the same without its executive director. Thanks, Lauren, for all you do. Now, back to the work from home giveaway. Is your desk chair in need of a replacement? Just like last year, Steelcase and NBS were generous enough to donate another silk chair. Remember, if your name is called for this desk chair upgrade, you must text the number on the screen before the end of the broadcast to let us know you're watching. And the winner of the silk chair is... hailing from Hamilton Anderson, this is how you create drama, Andrea Ellick from Hamilton Anderson. Please be sure to text the number on the screen before the broadcast is over. Thank you once again, Steelcase and NBS, for that awesome donation, a second year in a row.
As I already mentioned, there were 2 fellowship winners from AIA National. It is my pleasure to introduce to you Sandra Little, principal at Quinn Evans Architects, former founder of Centric Design Studio, and co-founder of Noir Design Partie, which documents the careers and creative works of Detroit's African-American architects.
Hello, my name is Sandra Little. I am an architect, principal, and director of diversity, equity, and inclusion at Quinn Evans Architects. Noir Design Partie was birthed out of NOMA. I definitely believe that because that's where I got the inspiration from, seeing Jack Travis's book and everything with that. So my involvement with NOMA allowed me to get the fire of advocacy behind me and see like, yes, we do need to increase these numbers. Because I came out in the profession literally making history and not realize I was a history maker at the same time. The numbers were that low that I'm still making history today, right? The biggest thing for me when finding out I was a fellow is to find out the statistics of that as well. Just blew my mind. The first African-American woman fellow in Detroit. I want to make sure that that's available for the next generation. And just that whole experience, that they don't have to wait till later in life to find out this information, but to find out there's someone that looks like them, that, that has done work right in their own communities. And, it may be a church, maybe a doctor's office, maybe all the people mover stations in the city of Detroit. I think that's important to increasing the numbers within our profession.
Applying for fellowship is an incredibly tough process to go through, but I'm willing to bet that Brian and Sandra are happy that they took the time to do so.
To our celebration. As we've already mentioned, we have our main featured watch party just outside the GAR building, across the street at Beacon Park. Award-winning Lumen is serving drinks, and the crowd is watching this broadcast on a screen provided by Beacon Park. I think it's about time we jump on over to Melinda Anderson, who's down there celebrating with the rest. Take it away, Mimi. To our celebration. As we've already mentioned, we have our main featured watch party just outside the GAR building, across the street at Beacon Park. Award-winning Lumen is serving drinks, and the crowd is watching this broadcast on a screen provided by Beacon Park. I think it's about time we jump on over to Melinda Anderson, who's down there celebrating with the rest. Take it away, Mimi.
All right, Detroit. All right, I want to hear you again. Oh, little lag there. But I want you to make some noise, Detroit. Yeah. All right. Thank you guys for coming out. It is so amazing to see all of you in Beacon Park. We're so happy to have you here. And we are so stoked. Detroit. All right, I want to hear you again. Little lag there. But I want you to make some noise, Detroit. Yeah. All right. Thank you guys for coming out. It is so amazing to see all of you in Beacon Park. We're so happy to have you here. And we are so stoked to celebrate the design community and to see you all here tonight. So we had a sidewalk architecture design competition. Thanks, Becca. We had an architecture design competition, and I am here to show you the winning competition. Design community, and to this see you all here tonight. This is called The Sound of Detroit. So I'm going to introduce you to Andrina, who's from UDM Architecture School. All right. Can you please tell me about this amazing installation?
We wanted to create a unique experience here in the urban environment and in Beacon Park. So we decided to celebrate Detroit's musical innovation while also combining that with our Mesopotamian culture. So we do have some wonderful wind chimes that create a whimsical feel, while also having symbolic coins that have Mesopotamian culture significance.
Okay, awesome. And what else inspired you guys to create this design installation?
Well, we were kind of inspired by Motown, Detroit's musical innovation, and we realized that both of our cultures, we're both Mesopotamian, sort of had some musical feel to it as well. So we wanted to kind of combine the both and submerge them into one.
Whoops. See what happens when it's live? I think it's going to catch up, but we're just going to keep going. Hey, guys. It'll catch up. Don't worry.
Thank you, Melinda. We got so lucky with the weather this year, and it looks like the Beacon Park party is looking good. Once again, It's with the deepest gratitude that I thank all of our sponsors for sticking with us, getting creative, and making all of this possible.
This segment is brought to you by Silman, who works to provide the highest quality structural engineering services possible by fostering an approach centered on constant collaboration between owners, architects, and other consultants.
Every year for our recognition awards, individuals within our local community are honored for their professional achievements, impact on the design profession, grassroots efforts, and significant involvement with AIA Detroit. This year, our winners are beyond exceptional in their outreach to the community and profession and helping everyone rise with them.
The Honorary Affiliate Award is presented to non-architect in recognition of someone who has rendered distinguished service to the profession of architecture and fostered or promoted excellence in architecture or allied industries. Our first recognition award of the evening goes to a hip-hop artist who is dedicated to placemaking in Detroit, bringing diverse groups of people together. It is my pleasure to introduce Dominique Campbell, co-founder of Decipher Detroit.
I am a hip-hop artist, a social entrepreneur, and cultural organizer. With just what's happening right now in Detroit with a lot of like gentrification and like displacement and kind of this meshing of old with the new placemaking, I feel like now more than ever is super important. And then when you have artists, like with my organization Decipher, when you have artists who are able to like take the realm of placemaking, it just works out perfectly because the artists are often the most engaged with the culture, the most in tune with the community and what's going on. And art is also able to like bring diverse groups of people together of all different backgrounds. And so I think it's always like just the perfect blend when an artist can engage in placemaking.
Our next honorary affiliate is recognized for his commitment to creating a green community in Detroit that can be both educational and beautiful. Congratulations, Jeff Klein, Deputy Chief of Landscape Architecture with the City of Detroit.
The land and the landscape, I consider it, a really powerful tool for change. The more we can engage the people that are a part of the land around them, the more we can understand what they desire, what their needs are, what the needs of the land are as well, and integrate that all into a final solution that's thoughtful and I would argue beautiful. The responsibility of changing the landscape in any way and leaving it there for other people, it's something that that weighs on me heavily when I approach a project. Being able to observe that space that you've built and to see people use it or respond to it, that's really the reward.
Running an organization like the Detroit Riverfront Conservancy cannot be an easy task. But our next honorary affiliate navigates that position beautifully and recognizes the importance of the Detroit River to the southeastern Michigan community. We eagerly await to see more development along the river. Thank you, Mark Wallace, Chief Executive Officer of the Detroit Riverfront Conservancy, for everything you and your team do.
We learned a lot on the riverfront during 2020. We've always known this is a place where people come when they get married. It's a place where they come for their prom photos. What we didn't realize is that when people in the city are going through their worst days, a lot of times they're going to turn to the riverfront. The number of people who came to the riverfront just skyrocketed. What we didn't realize is how important it is for Detroiters on a daily basis. Sometimes we think about parks as sort of the icing on the cake, right? You know, that's a special thing, a place you go on a special occasion. But when we see people coming out of their houses every day, walking the DeQuinder Cut, walking the Riverwalk, we realize it's a place that they need. They need to come down there to stay healthy. They need to come down there to clear their minds. They need to come down there to get refocused because so much stress is pulling them in so many different directions. And it's an honor to be able to provide a space like that to the community.
And in case you didn't see it already, the Detroit Riverfront was the #1 winner in USA Today's Best Riverwalk competition. Next is our Associate Member Award, presented to an Associate Member of AIA Detroit in recognition of an emerging professional who has made significant contributions to the profession of architecture, the community, and/or this organization. This year's award goes to an individual who is all about elevating those around her. A long overdue congratulations to this year's Associate Member Award winner, Shanita Rutland of Quinn Evans Architects.
My name is Shanita Rutland, and I'm an architectural designer. I work for Quinn Evans Architects. The programs that I volunteer for are in the way of being able to promote architecture, specifically K through 12. I use the example of when I kind of learned about architecture. I never met an actual architect. Specifically, I never even met an African-American architect. When I meet a lot of K through 12, and I'm like, the first thing is, do you know what an architect is? You live in some form of a housing, residence, a building. Well, guess what? Someone designed that. So when we talk about community development, I'm talking to them because I said, do you realize you're a community expert? You don't have to have someone outside of your community to tell you what's good for you. You can be a community activist, and even if you don't want to be architect or be in architecture, you kind of understand certain things that you can advocate for your community versus someone telling you what's better for you.
And it's time again for our giveaway. I don't know about you guys, but the flooring in my home office needs a little bit of love. Needs a lot of love. Anyway, thankfully Mohawk is donating the materials needed to help out with that. And let's see who gets to change the look of their entire home office with a new floor. And the winner of the new office flooring is... Spoiler alert, it's not me. Ronald Syme from Wakely Associates is our lucky winner. So Ronald, please be sure to text the number on the screen before the broadcast is over to claim your prize. Thank you once again, Mohawk, for that awesome donation. Again, a second year in a row.
This segment is brought to you by MWA, who provides comprehensive technical solutions and design options of commercial exterior construction products and systems to architects and design professionals, roofing contractors, and building owners.
The AIA Detroit Young Architect Award is given to an architect member of AIA Detroit in recognition of proficiency and exceptional contributions to the profession. More than one award may be presented every year, and this year we have 2. The first Young Architect Award goes to an individual who you might already know from NOMA Detroit or Project Pipeline, Brian Cook of Berardi Plus Partners. Congratulations, Brian.
My name is Brian Cook, currently the NOMA Detroit president, but also I'm director of Berardi Detroit. Actually in 2012, when the NOMA conference was last in Detroit, is when I really became more involved because I saw my peers and what they were doing, and I was like, oh, I should be doing these things. There's no reason why I can't, right, be involved, because I saw Project Pipeline and a small group of us, we kept talking about it. Then we found some funding through the Michigan Architectural Foundation, and then so I was like, all right, so if we have money and we have a free space, I guess we need to find students and make this happen. And expose young people to the profession, let them know that there are people that look like them that are in the profession. But then also that there's other aspects. I tell them every year, I want you all to be architects. I know that you, not all of you will be, but maybe you understand that it's bigger and broader and you find the thing that you really love doing.
Our second Young Architect Award is being given to an individual who has had a tremendous impact on the profession, even though she's only been licensed since 2017. Congratulations, Katie Johnson, Principal, Strategy and Practice Leader at AECom.
I'm Katie Johnson. I'm a principal at AECom. I'm an architect, but also a business person. So I have a bit of an unconventional career path, I would say. My focus is really on working from an interdisciplinary perspective to address the human condition in cities. I find myself working with public and nonprofit entities in addition to private businesses because of the fact that we have an opportunity to direct investment through collaboration into areas that have not seen the investment that would support human beings thriving in those communities. I first got into architecture inspired by architecture as an art form. I think some of the practical challenges are balanced by kind of that more ephemeral delight that the artfulness of architecture brings.
The Charles Blessing Award is given to an individual whose leadership and planning and civic issues are always in pursuit of higher quality of life for all. This year's recipient is long overdue, so congratulations, Dorian Moore, Vice President of Archive Design Studio.
I'm Dorian Moore. I'm an architect and urban designer, principal at Archive Design Studio in downtown Detroit. Architects in general and urban designers and urban planners need to get more involved in the decision-making that happens within our cities. And I think it's something that we've often neglected, and I think we can have a very powerful voice for change within cities. It's great and it's rewarding, but there are many challenges in developing the urban environment, and the only way to combat those challenges is to expose ourselves to as much of it as we can, so we have things to reference. The most satisfying thing is when you work on projects that are going to be a catalyst or that are going to make a difference in people's lives. I think that's the most rewarding thing, that I do now.
The gold medal is the highest honor that AIA Detroit can bestow on individuals. It is conferred by the AIA Detroit Board of Directors in recognition of distinguished service to the theory and practice of architecture, or to AIA Detroit, and this year's recipient has had influence in both arenas. This year's recipient of the AIA Detroit Gold Medal is Gina Van Tyne, founding partner and principal of Inform Studio. This honor recognizes Gina's tireless dedication to advance the practice of architecture, her long-standing support to the institution, and her incredible contributions to her community. Through Gina's leadership, dedication, and mentoring, she's inspired countless individuals in the profession. Thank you, Gina, and congratulations on this well-deserved honor.
My name is Gina Van Tyne. I'm a principal at Inform Studio. Being able to manage people and projects, overall, architects in general, are trained that way to a degree. So I think it's something that I fell into more so than actually pursued that as a course of my career. The most important thing that we do besides impacting the community with the projects that we get to work on is the development of the people in our office. We want to impact the people in our office as well as the people outside of our office. We've graduated some people to their own firms. That makes you feel really good, that they are ready to step out on their own, that they are being recognized for their achievements and their successes. And I think that's our greatest achievement as a firm, is really seeing our people really develop, being successful, and having, a really good career. You've given something that can be used for schooling, for worship, for work, for somebody getting, treated, and becoming healthy. It's all those things. And I can't imagine anything else that could be that satisfying. Thank you so much. I have to tell you, I was completely shocked when I got a visit from Lauren, and everybody at the office was gathered together. So it was something I wasn't expecting, and thank you so much. There are people that I need to thank, my parents for sure. They put in me early on as a young child a really strong work ethic. They also told me one thing that was really critical to become an architect when I was in school. They told me when I was a little kid, I could be anything I wanted to be as long as I put my mind to it. So I've always followed that, and it has really served me well. My husband, for sure, Ken, he's always been by my side. We've been partners in life and in business for years and years, and he's my rock. He's my support. I couldn't have done this without him. And then, of course, Mike and Alicia, for sure. They're the best partners that anybody could ever have, and we've been together almost as long as Ken and I have been together. So it's been a very long, wonderful partnership. I really want to, excuse me, thank them and tell them how grateful I am for that. And then Corey, of course, he's been around almost as long as everybody else, and just a great partner and really good teammate, and I owe him a debt of gratitude as well. Our whole team has really helped to get me where I am today. I couldn't have done it without them. Our whole Inform studio, current and former people, have really stood behind us. They've helped us and supported us all along the way. I want to thank the AIA and Lauren, of course. It's quite a journey. Lawrence Tech, of course, they're the people that have been behind my training and everything, and I'm really grateful for them as well. Thank you so much.
Thank you, Gina. Honestly, she was here when I first arrived as the AIA Detroit secretary, and I think that this honor is long overdue. So thank you so much for once again being our gold medal recipient this year.
I appreciate that. Thank you so much.
All right, and now a message from one of our sponsors.
Well, as a top U.S. engineering firm, we strive to bring a sustainable workforce to the market. We are diverse in many services, and we carry a breadth of collaboration.
IMEC supports, each employee's goals. I think that's very important.
I'm proud to work for IMEG because they give me the awareness of giving back to society.
This segment is brought to you by Peter Basso Associates and Illuminart, who excel at solving complex, challenging problems and possess an in-depth knowledge of best practices that extends across multiple markets and focuses on designing efficient, cost-effective solutions that pay return over the life of a facility.
In case you did not already realize it, we have one more party to check into. Heading over to Detroit Mercy's newly branded School of Architecture and Community Development, Dean Dan Patera, FAIA. Dan? Oh, Dan, you're live. We can hear you. Are you muted, Dan? If you're speaking on a computer, let's check to make sure you're not muted.
Hello, everyone. We are here having a wonderful time. Nope.
Keep going, Dan. We got you here for a while. We can hear you now. Yep.
Let's try this again. Bit of a delay. I can see what the people of Beacon Park were putting up with. Yes. So again, hello, everyone. We are having a wonderful time at the School of Architecture and Community Development. To our Jewish colleagues, happy Rosh Hashanah. Shana Tova. Happy Detroit Month of Design. I hope everyone engages the many opportunities that the Month of Design offers, not just this wonderful celebration. We have students and faculty and staff and alumni with us celebrating not just architecture, but the next era of our school. We just completed the 15th anniversary of our community development program. And this month marks our transition from being a school of architecture to now being known as the School of Architecture and Community Development. We truly believe that the soul of a community is the person. And architecture is the objects and the things within a community. Therefore, if you want to get the soul of architecture, you need to understand the people of the community. Architecture and community are inextricably linked. This linkage has been amplified at our school makes better architects and community developers. Congratulations to all the winners tonight, especially those who are alumni. But I would like to send out a special shout out to two. Dorian Moore, who won the Charles Blessing Award, has taught at Detroit Mercy in one form or other for 24 years. And second, our alumna, Shanita Delane Rutland, was awarded the Associate Member Award. We're so proud of all our alumni and alumni. We highlight those two. Again, congrats to everyone. I hope everyone is having a great evening. Cheers.
That all sounds so amazing, Dan. Thank you so much for letting the local community know about the school's rebranding and, of course, your pride in the award winners that we have this evening.
In a similar vein of equity and inclusivity in the profession, let's talk about NOMA Detroit, our local chapter of the National Organization of Minority Architects. You already heard Brian discuss Project Pipeline and how that helps bring young students into the world of architecture. But did you know that NOMA Detroit is also hosting our national conference in the city this year?
Yeah, I'm excited for the 50th because one, I think there's a lot of programming and different just information that's going into this conference. Like each month, NOMA National is releasing a profile of one of the architects that helped to start NOMA as an organization. For me, it's been really good to kind of see the history kind of explained in a way that more people can have access to. And especially every time that there is a conference that comes around, I think there's always more and more people that get more interested or have more access to learn more about NOMA as an organization, but also as an opportunity to, even like the experience that I had, to meet your architectural family, if you will. So yeah, I think it'll be a good catalyst for more people to get plugged in and to just know more about the great things that we're doing here with NOMA Detroit.
The fundraiser that AIA Detroit is hosting on our Celebration Eventbrite page completely benefits NOMA Detroit and all of the hard work they pour into making the architectural practice a viable career path for everyone. Only 3% of our architects are Black, Asian, Hispanic, or Latino, and that's just too small a number. 3%, think about that for a second. We need to do better about this issue in our profession. The fundraiser on Eventbrite will stay live until September 30th. So if you have not already donated, you have until the end of the month.
If you wish to donate directly to NOMA Detroit, let us know. We will be happy to connect you to the right people within the organization. I'd like to formally thank our production partners. Without them, we just wouldn't be able to put on a show like this. Mercury with the production, DTE in Beacon Park with the party outside, and of course, all of the wonderful things that we can do with partners in the industry that make a production like this possible. And again, the GAR building is for sale, so if you're interested, we know who to put you in touch with. Just let us know. Now, our last giveaway item has been donated by All Steel and Interior Environments. This Mimeo chair is customizable and starts at $1,800 retail, so it is a steal if you win it here. Remember, if your name is called for this chair, you must text the number on the screen almost immediately to let us know that you are watching. And the winner of the Mimeo chair is Haley Wilson from GMB. Congratulations, Haley. Please be sure to text the number on the screen within the next few minutes. And thank you once again, All Steel and Interior Environments, for that amazing donation. Well, that's it, folks. Thank you all so much for joining us this evening. We hope you enjoyed this year's broadcast, whether you're at a party or simply watching from home. Hopefully you loved listening to all the incredible stories from our winners. We are going to keep our fingers crossed to see you all in person next year. It's 9:05. All right, we get to go home early.
Stop me now if I'm talking too much.